Yeah, I'm just I think it's been about 30 episodes since our last baronar appreciation day. So just bringing it back here. I gotta say, I don't know how you see anything with these sunglasses on. I am blind. I think you guys can see more on my monitor than I can in this reflection, but man, so episode 44, while you're getting the slide up, I just got to say, so next week I'm probably out. It looks like we're having the kids sometime in the morning. I did I did get permission from the wife to potentially call into the show and give you guys all a sneak peek at my little new egg, I guess is a, I don't know, a weird way to say it. Anyways, moving on. um we got a slide up here. Can you guys hear Mike? Aaron, back up. Sorry, Odin. Man, I get excited. I start talking. I'm loud. Shoot, guys, we got a lot to talk about today. Um, all right, cool. No, man, everybody's heard enough about that. Hopefully next week we'll have some new news. But I guess the point I was going to make is, we keep talking about how long we've been doing this, and it sounds like I'm going to be out for a few weeks. When we finally hit that 1 year, I can't say that I've been doing it a full year, so I'm going to have to maybe keep sneaking in here for at least a couple little waves and whatever. Oh boy. Bernard, if you guys are saying Bernard is still muted, he's over here saying how
All right,
conservative
all
he
right.
is.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, there we go.
All
Yeah,
right, you guys let us know if he's back.
I should be. I think.
We got 292 people here listening to me
You know,
talk to myself.
no,
They're
dude, it's
saying you're good
awesome.
though, so
No, no. So
let's
it's wild. Like for some reason, Discord and Streamlabs for me just hate each other, and so I end up with like 3, 4 different devices in my Streamlabs, and it's all good. Hey, everybody, sorry about that. It feels like every time I get things worked out, I'm always dealing with something else, but it's all good. We're episode 44. We're excited about Enjoi and his family news. It's going to be freaking awesome. I hope you can call in, man. That would be incredible to have you call in on Axie Chat. That would just be so cool. So yeah, hey, we're so excited for episode 44. This is incredible. I love double digit numbers. 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. All that is so cool. And yeah, there's some exciting stuff happening in the
what
space.
what do you
Oh
think
my
about the
gosh.
number 1 million? How
Yeah,
does that number
dude.
make
Oh
you feel?
my gosh. I like that number. I like that number a lot. So, hey, let's get into it. First of all, just real quick, we give our quick little
This
disclaimer here.
content is for information
And,
purposes only. The
it's
sharing
funny.
such information or material is legal, tax, investment, financial, or other
I always
advice.
feel
We have
like
no
we have to do
responsibility
this.
for your
This is a
decisions. You're
Baronar
not game next, and our
disclaimer.
opinions could be flawed.
Anyway, so we're through that now, and we'll move on. Everybody, just be smart. Don't be dumb. Make decisions that are responsible for yourself. Okay, so hey, we're on the public stream. There's tons of stuff happening in the Axie space this week. It's just been crazy as I've been organizing it, and thanks for the hype train, everybody. You guys are the best. Appreciate all the support. Look at the people here. Appreciate you so much. Your viewership is so meaningful to us. It keeps us coming back week after week. Such incredible stuff. And look at this. Enjoi even has a new microphone. We're like, so long as our microphones are on and working, we're upgrading the show. We're trying our best to make everything as good as we possibly can.
Well, I was gonna say new mic. It feels great to have a new mic, but you
Yeah.
got to turn it on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, right on. So, hey, Odin gave me the update on the Discord membership. It's getting kind of crazy. So we had 100,000. We talked about this last week. That was the cap for Discord. They popped us up to 250. We're already within 2 weeks at 164,000 Discord members. It's not going to take long. We're going to be asking Discord again, to the point where I started looking up some of the top Discords, and some of the top Discords are only like 600, 700,000. Like, I'm honestly thinking with the type of adoption that we're seeing in Axie, like, we may be headed toward one of the top Discords freaking in the entire world. Like, in the entire world, man. So it's getting so cool with Axie Infinity.
Was it last week that we had bumped up against those numbers, or was that 2 weeks ago? Are
Two
we
week
growing at
2 weeks ago.
okay,
Yeah.
so about 30,000 a week is what we're growing at currently. So we're looking at, another month, and we're at our new cap.
And Odin just said in chat, like within a year, if we keep it the pace we're keeping at, we'll be the top Discord within about a year. Incredible. So grateful for everybody hanging out. So grateful for you coming in to hang out with us in Axie Chat. Love our Axie Chat fam. So that's cool. I wanted to make this announcement. I didn't even talk to you about this, Enjoi. So this is cool. I went ahead and got things set up with Streamlabs.
Oh my god!
So we have a little merch store for people. So if you're going to NFT NYC, if you're hanging out wherever you're going and you want to rep Axie Chat, this is where you go. The Streamlabs.com baronar merch. So, and I know there's been a few people that have asked me about bee hats. So hey, look at that. We have a bee hat that you can snag from the merch store. In fact, if I can get it to work better than my mic, I set up a giveaway for one of the Axie tees. So I'll get that going. I know that really kind of messes up the chat, but man, I like it. I like doing giveaways, especially for Axie Chat merch, huh?
Well, now I have to go and buy one of those hats so I can cosplay you better next time.
I love it, man. Yeah, I mean,
look at it over here.
It's I'm pretty excited about it. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty pleased that we're getting that going. And again, it's just mostly for fun. Hopefully people will enjoy it. I don't know what my computer's doing right now. Hopefully I'm not flashing through all sorts of stuff. But let me see if I can get that going here.
And I thought we'd be talking about making big decisions like this together, but you know what?
Yeah.
You
sorry,
that looks
dude.
good. Is that you modeling that shirt over on the right?
Yeah. I actually was
working out.
I was yeah. In a different life when I was like super fit and in great shape. That's what it was. Let's see if I can get that going. I think people will be excited for a little giveaway, right? Do people let me know in the chat? Are you guys excited about a little giveaway? Here, we'll get this going. All right. Trying to do too many things at once, dude.
I can't get over the chat. Guys, I'll put this link up on our website too, so it's less to remember.
Thanks,
if anybody's
dude.
Actually interested in wearing Baronar's name on their head.
I had like 2 people ask, and I don't know. So maybe there'll be 2 people out there. Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna move on to our next slide here.
Let's move the slide,
and then
you keep on working on that.
Yeah, I'll get the giveaway going. This stuff is cool. So we're gonna have a slide now about team news. So long as we have some team news that we can go through. Absolutely love this. We're talking huge adoption for Axie Infinity. It's affecting the servers, and the team is working their butts off to work on stability and scaling so that we can handle this hyper growth. Somebody, I can't remember who it was saying like they tried to get on, they're new to the space, they were excited about it, they were trying to get on and buy something, and then they couldn't get it to work because it was so slammed with so many people, and so they gave up. And I'm like, dude, you don't give up on a project where it's so busy that you're having a hard time getting in. That is the project you want to be in, man.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing. People recommending, new investors, like people who want to get involved with land, not even play the game, to come in, and they were all excited about it and back out for the same reasons. The marketplace has been struggling a little bit. The game's been struggling a little bit. And I've said it before, the number one priority at this point isn't to get Battles V2 out. It's not to get the staking out necessarily. It's to get everything functioning, because we've got so much demand coming in right now. And where do those people land right now? They land in Discord, which is moving real fast, and they try and play the game and buy something from the marketplace. And if those two things are struggling a little bit, then they bounce out. All of that marketing, all that goodwill that we've built up over time, is not as useful as it could be. So I'm sure right now that's their number one priority. And honestly, this AMA is coming at a great time.
Heck yeah, man.
I think we're out here talking about this stuff every week, but people love hearing this from the team. And I don't know if you guys have checked it out. They've got a Reddit thread for people to ask questions prior to the AMA. And there's a lot of good questions being asked. A lot of them are repetitive and asking about they're things that we've covered and such. Asking about kind of what is the lifeline of SLP and Axie breeding look like? If we run out of people coming into the game, are is the economy going to collapse?
Right,
And
right.
that's an important question, and we've talked about it a lot. I think we're going to talk about it a little bit later tonight. But again, I think
We
it's
are.
super important to have those questions answered by the team. And we'll be listening to that. It's great getting those little nuggets of information, those little leaks that they always seem to drop in those sort of sessions. So awesome that they're doing that.
All right. Hey, the giveaway should have started there. So for those that are listening to the podcast or watching the replay, sorry. But people here are actually that are live are getting an opportunity to get a freaking t-shirt. So hopefully everybody can enter into that. I'm so lit about this sort of stuff. I think you and I've talked about this before. We're excited to see all the giveaways and stuff that happen inside of the Axie space, but I got to be honest, like it's really hard for me to give away Axie assets. So I'm glad we have some.
Sure.
That was part of the reason I wanted to have some merch. If people liked it, it was a good thing I think that we could do, that we could actually do some giveaways. But I agree with you. I'm excited about the AMA stream. I hope that people who have basic questions, who have really complex questions too, to be honest, will tune in. We'll make sure that they get those questions in. I mean, for us, that's tomorrow morning, and I'm really, really excited about it. AK bought a shirt. Thanks, dude. Oh my gosh, so cool. All right.
I can't wait to see Tiger wearing a Axie Chat shirt next interview.
Heck yeah, so cool, so cool. Interview stuff happening. There's more team news though. So moving on to the next slide. On this slide, we're talking about Ziori had a really cool thing this morning, and I love that he's doing it on a Tuesday. Tuesdays, man, Axie days. And other streamers are doing stuff on other days, so I don't want to take away from that. That's so awesome. I want Axie 24/7 all the time. I want it. But it was cool to see Ziori starting for the North America in the morning. For the Europeans, I think that's a great time for them in the earlier morning. So really excited that that's happening with Ziori and Indus. And I can't wait to watch it. I'm hoping that there's a replay. I'm assuming that there is. I couldn't grab it because we're trying to get stuff ready for our show today, even though half the time it doesn't feel like it. But I've been working pretty hard all day to get our show going. So I'm excited to get a chance to see that. I heard, again, I can't remember if it was Ziori talking to me directly or if it was somewhere else, but Ziori, they felt a little bit humbled by some coaching from Indus. Kind of like we were, right? When Indus came on with us.
Indus, I don't want to boost his ego, but Indus is an arena god, I guess is a good way to say it.
Right.
I did stop in and check it out. Ziori, I mean, he's got such a long history of shoutcasting and being involved with esports, and God, it's so natural to listen to him talk about Axie. Like he's picking up on everything already and just doing a great job, and it was a good time. I'm excited about this whole, Axie Tuesdays really taking off. I don't know if that was intentional, but we've talked to a couple people, and we've been doing this thing for a while. And by the way, guys, thanks a lot to Knight for starting us up tonight, and Soma Pills, who's going to be closing out the night after the show. But the streamers have been just doing a great job, and we've heard from some people about wanting to see an Axie Infinity 24-hour raid pass, I guess, just people passing the buck after their hour, and just getting a full day filled. And so if anybody's interested in doing something like that, if you guys are streamers or want to be more involved in the space or anything like that, pass your information on, because I'd love to help organize that. And we can do that around Ziori stream now that they're doing that as well.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, we can have a lot of fun with that.
So cool. And I can't even believe it, man. They also had the video contest announced this week. We haven't had a chance to talk about that. I think that came out the day after Axie Chat, so it's been a minute. But what do you think about that, man?
I mean, it's fantastic. In the smaller days of the Discord, we had a lot of community sponsored contests, little meme contests, video contests, all sorts of stuff like that. Where people were giving away, at the time Origins were cheap, whatever, stuff like that. I'm curious though. Do you think, like, so we've got a lot of stuff going on now? We've got Ziori's got a stream on. We've got this AMA. We've got this video contest. All this is coming the week after Ziori joins, or 2 weeks after. Do you
Dude.
think all this is
Wait.
spurred on?
Dude,
Oh my
look in the
God.
chat. Look at the chat. You don't forget where you're at.
Something will be unlocked when we hit 1 million Axies.
My God.
Jiho is in the chat. Something will be unlocked when we hit 1 million Axies.
Okay. So,
Oh
where are we
gosh.
at? I don't have one open. I don't have a tab open. I have my screen where I say where we're at.
All right.
I'm freaking
We're
out, man.
so-
This is how I get ones.
I'm right there. All right. Highest
my
ID.
gosh.
We're
We're 4,000 away. Oh,
We're less than 4,000 away. I think that's about 3,000 that were made in the last, maybe less than an hour. The people are crushing it right now.
oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. What do you think it might be? I mean, Jiho's, you can just tell us, I guess. I mean, it's probably just going to happen.
We're gonna find out within
Right.
Axie Chat, maybe, or shortly after. Yeah, man, it's
Wow.
coming. I have no idea.
Yeah,
Maybe. I mean, we've talked about for whatever reason, dawn and dusk parts. We've talked about.
Well, that's where I was headed
different-
too.
Different things to keep the breeding more interesting. I guess it's not to slow it down at all,
Right.
but it's to make it a little bit more complicated and give the players something else to play with. Maybe it's something
MEO
like that.
3? MEO 3 gets announced?
And you know what? That's an interesting point too, because this week some people did notice on the dashboard, AEC tokens showed up, didn't they?
Yeah. AEC got added to the dashboard. And I figured that was just kind of a legacy thing, but I know that they plan to do more MEO in the future. I mean, that's been stated before. That's just not something that you and I know. That's something that's known throughout the community, that they plan to do more MEO. And that would be absolutely incredible. Of course, I don't want to get overly excited. It could just be that maybe we're getting, which would be amazing too. Maybe the land item finally comes for the migration. That would be incredible. Our little spaceships, maybe.
Maybe there's a new item for the commemoration
community.
of 1 million Axies. I don't know. Yeah, the whole AEC thing, and it's good that this is coming up, because a lot of people have been talking about that and speculating. I know that there's been a few people that have been going out and trying to acquire some of those kind of outdated tokens, and a lot of that stuff, like right now, I think at least when Ronin was first launched, there was no way to roll those things. The contracts had to be distributed. So all of that was kind of put on hold. And I was wondering if, those people that were going out and trying to acquire those had made big enough waves that, the team realized, hey, maybe somebody wants to roll these things that have been just kind of sitting there for years. But, it's very possible that that's not the case. And we do have something new coming.
I'm excited. Whatever it is, G-Host, thank you for coming in and getting us all excited. It's got to be getting close. I mean, if we weren't running the show, I'd be breeding a whole bunch like mad right now. So congrats to those that are. Hopefully, who knows who knows who it's going to be, but I'm excited to see who it is. Oh wow, guys, thanks for grabbing some of that merch. So cool.
We just added like 100 Axies in the last minute.
Wow, dude.
So insane.
Everybody just keep breed them a ton, man, while we're doing this. I'm so excited. Hopefully we can get the announcement while we're here, Axie Chat Live. So, hey, for the community one, I just had to shout out Bryson, and, he has been just a stalwart supporter of his scholars, his whole watch to earn. He's all about the scholarships. He's more about getting the scholars and getting people play than I think even making sure it's profitable himself. And I just respect the hell out of Bryson. It's so cool. Way to be awesome, man. And This dance thing, have you seen some of these dance videos? I just think they're so wonderful. He had a little competition for who can do this legendary dance, and he can dance. I try to sing. There's no way on earth that I could do this dance. It would be so terrible. But it's so cool to see people doing it and how well they're doing it too. It's so much fun. But you were talking about those rare coins down there on the bottom right of this slide. He had to create see his little salt picture down there with the cards. That he had a special representation for him acquiring those AOC, those Axie Origin coins, and he was able to acquire 5. BA was involved with that too. So super cool. I'm excited to see what he decides to do. Is he going to roll him? Is he not going to roll him? Is he just going to hold him? What's Bryson going to do? I'm dying, man. I'm so excited to see what he does. I feel super honored too. I haven't been able to watch chat at all, so apologize if things are happening in the chat that I should be seeing. But he said something about being a guest on Axie Chat. Dude, we would love to have you come, right, Enjoi? I mean, it would just be awesome to have Bryson with us one of these days.
Yeah, for sure. Nothing to say there other than absolutely yes.
Yeah, absolutely yes. And we want Enjoi to be here too, so we'll make sure that you're not going to be missing when we schedule Bryson and get him here on the stream with us. So cool. 9 minutes left on the giveaway, so everybody make sure you get your raffles in if you got them. Hey, the next slide. This has become kind of a regular feature on Axie Chat just because it's so incredibly profound, man. So the 7-day, the 24-hour, the 7-day, and then the week-long amounts. And Axie just recently added an Axies Sold tab, which I love. They had that average one for a while. But now we have a total Axie Sold, which you can create your own average if you do it. Other than we know that there's more things in the total volume than just Axies, right? There's going to be land and land items in there as well. But you could kind of get a sense of maybe an average of an Axie asset sold, although it does say Axie. So I don't know. Anyway, I guess I'm just talking and off the cuff. But $4.1 million in 24 hours. Enjoy.
Yeah, man. I was hoping you wouldn't realize that whole Axie Sold thing was added. I like metrics. I like being able to track stuff week to week, and I think that's just such a cool number to keep an eye on.
Oh yeah.
And in the last 30 days, that 309,000 Axies, literally, like, we're close to doubling the old number in the last 30 days is just phenomenal to me. I remember back when we were less than 100,000 Axies, and that seemed like a big milestone, and now we're just flying through new breeds.
Yeah, absolutely, man. What's incredible to me as well, like we were hitting some good numbers. Ethereum, though, at that time was still like in the 2,800. It's been declining, but now it's like 1,000 less than that. And look at this number, man. So
yeah,
that's what's incredible to me. Like we still capped 4 million in a 24-hour period, and Ethereum declined significantly. So this is incredible. If you add another at least 30% to that may be, if Ethereum were up in the 2,500, 2,600 level, that may be, the reflection of what it was a week ago based on Ethereum prices. You have different theories. We all have different theories about Ethereum and where it's headed and what's going on with Ethereum. What's so awesome about all this stuff? And we've been saying it since the beginning with respect to Axie, like freaking Axie digital assets, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're in our own space. We're in our own economy. Yep. We're doing our own freaking thing here. And it is just incredible.
And this is something I was going to bring up for our premium members, but I'll point it out quickly now. The real interesting thing about the whole ETH drop and Axie boom is that there was a large spike today during the large drop in ETH on our ramp transactions. So more people once ETH dropped, were throwing money into the Axie ecosystem. Completely different than people buying ETH and moving it over to Axies. People are buying with cash money, and I think that's really, really freaking interesting, especially in this crypto space.
Such a good sign. Such a good sign. Hope everything's good over there, man. I'm going to. Okay, yeah. So just keeping on with this same track in the chat. I don't know if how close people pay attention to the Discord. I mean, I'm always paying attention to at least land and the economy channels because I really love those, and it's important to me that Axie land and the Axie economy in general are supported, and so I like to pay attention to those things. But one of the things that was said, a really awesome community member, was literally saying, list more SLP on Binance, please. I need to acquire 2.5 million SLP. So if you're wondering if people are still looking to get SLP, if you're wondering if large purchasers think that this is somehow being inflated or there's some sort of issue, there you go. I mean, pay attention to that. Go ahead and list your SLP so people can buy it, because there are a lot of people who are breeding Axies, very, very confident in this market, confident in the adoption that we've seen so far and the adoption that's still going to take place. So, so awesome, man. Yeah, so cool. I don't feel like I'm doing enough. One of the things I've noticed, let's see, I got to get to another chart though first. So let's talk about this. Axie Infinity posted this one. Look at the numbers. So this is the top collections chart. I think this is DAP Radar that puts this one together. Man, it's getting to that point that Jiho loves, where it's just not even close.
World domination.
World domination, man.
Yeah, it's really hard to ignore those numbers. I think that's all there is to say about that. I was thinking about this for a while too, because Jiho recently did a podcast with I think the So Rare guy was on there,
right?
Who also has been dominating for a while. So Rare has, they're the football collectible card game. And I've never looked into them other than talking about them on the show, despite their high numbers.
Yeah.
And I've always wondered, how are people just not paying attention to Axie? We're doing so many awesome things, and these numbers don't lie. And I was speaking to myself. I had never looked into So Rare, and a lot of, I think the world is going to start paying attention to Axie, not because of these numbers that the crypto guys tend to look at. They're going to start paying attention to Axie due to the stories that are coming out, due to the documentaries that are being made, and the scholars looking for scholarships on Twitter, and all that stuff is just so hard to ignore. And
yeah,
I don't know, it's all amazing.
Yep, all amazing. So cool. So awesome to be the top. We were the top multiple times, but again, gas just kept halting the growth, halting the adoptability, the adoption, halting lots of things. One of the things that really made it difficult is for people to set up a whole bunch of scholarship accounts, so that can happen. And again, for those who are listening, just trying to figure out Axie Infinity, the scholarships, when we talk about those, that's just kind of a short way of just saying lending Axies to someone who isn't buying them so that they can use the team to earn SLP and then share the proceeds. And so that's just kind of a shorthand way of saying it. So we talk about that being a scholar. Very similar to going to school and getting a scholarship so that you can get your education, right?
Right. And I want to share something relevant to that. In chat, Shroomban FT just said, it's bigger than crypto. It's breathing life into communities.
Dude.
And if I get a chance, I want to share a story about that a little bit later.
Okay.
But that's exactly what this is. And we've been hearing stories about this all over. It's not just a game. It's not just crypto. It's not just, early adopters doing well. It's actually changing lives for people who, I don't even want to say got in late. We're still early. I don't want to say, but the other piece of that is, they're not even necessarily investing. They're playing in partnership with somebody who owns the assets, and it's still changing their lives.
So in that sense, it is free to play to earn already.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I think maybe the next slide might be your opportunity, man. Let's see. No, not quite. So this was one that Max Brand pointed out. And I really wanted to highlight this slide. This slide shows us that we're now officially over 200,000 Axie holders on Ronin, meaning these are separate addresses that are holding Axies. What's incredible too is we see the quantity of Axies being held by per address going down below. I think it's below 4.5 now. So these are addresses that are they're holding them so that they can play. As far as I can tell, they're holding them so that they can engage in the battles game. This isn't just whales moving Axies around for whatever purposes they might be doing that. So yeah, what do you think, man?
Dude, I don't have anything else to say about this. I mean, it's again, it's just blowing me away. I can't. It almost feels like I can't comprehend these numbers, but at the same time, I know we're gonna get to tens of millions of people at some point. It feels,
dude,
like a dream. It feels like a dream, but
it's
there's
incredible.
Still so much more.
Hey, look at the chat. Look who won.
Who won?
Arctic 404, man.
No,
Arctic won.
That's hilarious.
That is so cool. Awesome. Man, Arctic, congrats. Holy crap, good for Arctic. So, I mean, that is super cool. Arctic OG, man, Arctic is a stud. That is awesome. What cool karma there. So cool. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, rigged. I don't know what to say. It popped up. Wow. So cool, Arctic. Congrats, man. And I'll get in touch with you. Yeah. Oh man, that's so cool. I kind of lost my train of thought there, but Treasury doing good. That's the next slide here. Doing amazing actually, and we're going to talk about in the exclusive episode a little bit more about the Treasury and a little bit more about Axis. But you can see there 1.325 million Axis, and it's just getting. And I actually have my this one's backward on my little pictures. Sorry about that. It must have flipped on the account details of the wallet. So the Axis is in the Treasury, the Ethereum is not. But 1,800 Ethereum from the marketplace transactions so far. Eventually, that is slated to go into the Treasury at some point. We don't know if this is yet. We just want to make that really, really clear. But the Axis is slated to go into the Treasury, and 1.3 million. And again, that's just incredible. This Treasury is already getting profoundly, at least the potential of this Treasury being a huge, huge thing for Axis stakers is becoming more and more obvious every day.
Yeah. The other point too is we've talked quite a bit about Axis price action recently. It's been falling just like the rest of the crypto market, and for no good reason whatsoever. I feel like everything Axie's doing is just blowing up. That's the only thing that doesn't correspond with what's going on. But an interesting thing to note, and a lot of people have forgotten, is that the team has said that they want the breeding fee to be the equivalent of about $10 US dollar.
Right.
Which means that if the price of Axis falls under about $3.33, we would expect that the breeding fee moves up to 3 Axis per breed. So I would expect that we create some sort of price floor there. I mean, that's not necessarily the stop of things. If crypto keeps taking a dive, who knows what's going to happen? But $2, $2.50, $3.33, all of those are levels which would increase the amount of Axis required to breed rather. And I think that's going to have amazing effects potentially on both the price of Axis and the amount of Axis in the Treasury. So
yeah,
just things to look out for.
Absolutely. All right. So we couldn't possibly wait for this one. It's too exciting to know that we're so close to 1 million. But this slide, I just absolutely love Dr. Evil and his 1 million. Yeah, Axies. We're
where's
so
the
close.
Pinky? Put the pinky up.
Yes.
There it is. All right.
Yeah, dude, and just wanted to shout out Trumpery D too, doing great stuff with the charts. We've got some amazing chart masters here, Max and Trumpery, lots and lots of others, clumsier. All I can't name them all, but loved this one, showing us how quickly Axies are being bred. What's amazing though is that the total Axies available on the marketplace has actually dipped since last week. We had 38,000 for sale. If people remember, if you go check episode 43, you'll see that. But here, episode 44, we're down to 32 and a half thousand Axies. So what does that mean? Healthy market is what that means. Things are in good shape. We aren't seeing inflation beyond adoption significantly, and we all know that there's a bunch of pretty garbage Axies on the floor. Not trying to be mean to them. I'm sure they'll do great things on land or help other Axies upgrade or whatever happens. But yeah, there's a bunch of them that there's a bunch of them that have kind of flooded the market because there's profit there. And if you're not paying attention, not financial advice, we already had the disclaimer before. If you're not paying attention, the Axie space is on fire because it's profitable. I mean, that's one of the reasons. It's also fun. It's a great community. We have a great Axie family going on. The space is hot. The space is awesome. But can you imagine, man, playing around on the computer, doing digital tasks, and actually getting real money compensation? It's just absolutely incredible, but it is true. And I know there's a lot of people who have a hard time even believing it, but it happens. All right.
You just told me. How do I get started? Tell me more.
Yeah, well, yeah. Awesome. So moving on, this next slide is, I think, maybe the opportunity for you to talk about what you wanted to talk about, and it might not be obvious at the very, very beginning. But Bam Aquino, I think, is a close enough way to say this guy's name. He's a former senator of the Philippines. I think he's pretty well connected with respect to the Philippines leadership. This guy is the same Bam Aquino who was involved with the YGG Series A round of investment, of raising investment dollars. So why would I highlight this guy? Well, in the U.S. and other places, there's a lot of people that are concerned about how the government is going to be handling crypto. I think this is a pretty good sign that in the Philippines, they are aware of what's happening with SLP. He specifically says, very excited to be part of this new venture, Game On. I have a feeling this guy probably has some connections, the right type of people, knows the right type of people, that this is a very good sign for cryptocurrency, specifically actually for Axie Infinity in the Philippines. What do you think? I know I'm kind of springing this one on you too.
Yeah, I don't know how you're connecting this to anything, but yeah, I mean, obviously I pay attention to the broader crypto market, and how the government treats it is very telling of what's going to happen with the short-term price action. More so than the price action, I think that Axie is giving a lot of people breathing life, as somebody had said earlier, into some of these communities. And I mean, how could you neglect that? A lot of local states, countries, whatever, especially the smaller ones, tend to focus their, I don't know, marketing efforts, I guess, on travel and hospitality and that sort of thing, to get external dollars into the ecosystem to breathe that life. And Axie's kind of doing that. It's putting outside outside funding into the hands of their citizens. So it makes a lot of sense that they would pay attention to this.
Wow, we got a huge raid, man. Sorry to jump in, but Savage Studios rated us with a party of 63. Thanks, Savage. Holy crap.
Thank you.
Yeah, so everything you said, I think, is directly online, just because there's such huge adoption for Axie Infinity in the Philippines. And I think that the Philippines kind of recognize that they need a leg up economically. Like, I'm excited for the Philippines. That's why I brought this up. I think that this is a sign that the Philippines is ready to fully embrace crypto, and specifically Axie Infinity. And Wiziwa said in the chat, like, SLP is as the as Filipino currency, and it almost is. Like, it's huge. People like Gabby, with the YGG and the people connected there. I guess I just wanted to point out, like, the Philippines is hot, man. It's where it's happening, and I think that this is a really good sign for. We talked about how many people in the Philippines Axie Infinity could help as a second job, even as a primary job for some people, based on kind of their the available job market that's there. So I'm really excited about this. I think it's cool. I had not recognized that this was one of the investors in YGG. I think that's a great sign for YGG. I think it's a great sign for the Axie Infinity space as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I mean, you've seen the people's lives get changed with this, right? I mean, it's so cool seeing, like, people, I mean, literally being able to buy medicines and buy some of the basic needs. It's way, way awesome. All right. Okay, man. This is the new one, and this is starting to get to be one of my favorite segments between two shrubs. I love it. So you brought up a few topics. Let's start with number one.
Before we get started, I want to say that I corrected that typo right after typing it. So you must have snipped this real quick just to embarrass me. I'm okay with that.
The too high?
Gotta protect my.
Whoops,
gotta
sorry,
protect
dude.
my honor, though.
My bad.
Anyways, go ahead. Read it. Read us in.
All right. So, let's see. Is the cost of Axies too high in comparison to other NFTs, other games? And I have a very clear answer. Wow, all-time high viewer, guys. Wow, that is so huge. We are over 500 Enjoi in viewership.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. All-time high Axies, all-time high viewers, all-time Axie holders and players. Like, this whole thing it's just moving faster than I think anybody expected. At least, maybe not. Jiho seems to think we're gonna have
normal
a few billion players. Yeah, this is normal. It's normal.
All right. So, hey, what do you think about that? I mean, I know that there have been some people, they come in and question. Frankly, I think they've come from other NFT spaces or from not so great coin offerings, and they come here kind of with the expectations from the past, from the garbage that they've been involved with, and they don't have really any clue of the big picture of Axie Infinity when they first stop in, right?
Yeah, I think there's a couple different ways you can look at this, right? If traditional gamers coming into the space, we talked last week about the presentation that Blancos did and how poor the reaction was from traditional gamers. I think Blancos is a great game, but traditional gamers don't necessarily see the value in NFTs yet. And I think when you're used to spending, $30 to $60 on a quote unquote AAA game, seeing the cost of a few Axies is maybe a little mind blowing. So, I can see that. Yes, that would feel high. I can also see coming from some other NFTs, where there's maybe no utility, no gameplay, nothing to show yet. And even some of the ones that are, they don't have the same ecosystem that we have. They don't have the economy. They don't have the foresight into the economy. They don't have the roadmap. All of those things. So therefore, their assets aren't worth as much. But it feels like you're coming into something maybe a little more expensive than you're familiar with. That being said, if you look at this from an investment standpoint, if you look at this from the actual amount of money you can make, if you look at this as, if you buy your starter Axies and can actually breed them too, you can turn a profit pretty quick.
Right.
if you're playing the game, and you're hold on, I'm trying to do some math here.
Oh, hold on.
Hold on, I'm apparently pretty slow. Um, I mean, if you're playing the game and you're running out of energy, 200 SLP a day, you're looking at like $900 over the course of a month. So if you look at that from an investment standpoint, I think it's actually extremely fair, if not, could potentially be more expensive
Yeah,
based off of the price of SLP.
absolutely.
Most investors are investing hoping for a 10% gain over the course of a year. And you're able to make back your money over the course of a month if SLP holds up. So, and these are also assets that you own. You can sell back if you get bored of the game. There's so many reasons why. No, I don't think that the cost of Axies is too high, and could potentially go higher
Oh
should the
yeah.
market allow it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and not only that, like when we look at axes, when we think about what's to come, that's not even including things that are yet to be. So that's just analyzing it as it is right now, without the potential of vertical progression, upgraded parts, upgrading axes, leveling them up, all the different things that are going to come, the new battle system, everything that is headed this way. But yeah, you're absolutely right. And what other game assets has a return like this? I mean, I know that there are some NFT products that some NFT games that other than Axie. I mean, I don't get super excited about those. I'm not going to say anything negative about them though. But really, what other game can you play and get a return on the assets that you got? Not only return, but like even just have maintained some value in the assets that you purchased, the game assets that you purchased. It's pretty rare. It's definitely against most games' terms of service. Even if they do have value, you have to be basically, it's not part of their model. You have to be willing to sell your level 70 Burning Crusade warrior and violate terms of service and maybe not be able to play World of Warcraft anymore, just to give one very specific example, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think they're too high. I think that they're in great shape. The meta ones the price seems to be increasing. The semi decent ones, actually, the price seems to be stable to increasing as well. The only axes that seem to be dropping, but they haven't recently because, frankly, I think the value of Ethereum has gone down. And since Ethereum is lower, then actually the floor of Axis has kind of raised a little bit. I mean, that's just my thoughts. Everybody can do their own analysis, but that's kind of what it seems like, right?
Yeah, and I'll just point out too, for those that are listening, somebody mentioned in chat, did the math out. And again, based off of current SLP prices, this is no way,
Can't
you should
predict.
always do your own research. I'm
Yep.
not predicting what it's going to look like a year from now. But based off of current SLP prices, you're looking at like $8,700 over the course of a year of playing Axie Infinity for a entry point of like $600-700. So yeah, man, I'd say that that's a pretty good return on your investment, and hopefully you're having fun playing the game too.
Absolutely. I hadn't really thought about this. Some people in the chat are kind of talking about it, but again, we're talking about digital assets, but we believe in these assets. NFTs are real things. We're talking to people who are adopters in the NFT space. But when you take things like Warhammer minifigures or Magic the Gathering cards, Pokemon cards, other different collectibles, it's really sensible, right? Those maintain value, but it's really hard to generate value, I guess, unless you're a super competitive tournament player. But there aren't really a lot of opportunities there to be playing a game such as this one and be able to you can't really generate your own Magic cards, for example, right? You can't you're not allowed under terms of service to just create new Pokemon cards or anything like
Right.
that. So yeah. All right. So number 2, why is the marketplace game lagging? I think that the answer to that one's pretty obvious. If you have other insight, I'd love to hear it. But it's just hyper adoption. It's just it's so expensive and it's so time consuming to scale beyond a user base that you have, that when that gets stretched, it just creates some issues technologically, and then we end up with some of the, slowdowns in the marketplace and the game, including, it seems like, the Ronin chain. But I don't think Jiho would mind me saying this, but I kind of asked him about that, and he said actually the blocks have quite a bit of space still, so it shouldn't really be too big of an issue with Ronin. So I think it's a platform thing with the marketplace, maybe.
Yeah, I think I saw something about them maybe needing to increase the. I think this was one of the announcements, but increase the block size
Mm.
for new breeds. If I recall, it was like somebody setting auctions with too wide a space or something like that, and increasing that block size would change that. One of the things in software development too is a lot of times when a project is getting started, they develop to get the product out for the current player base, and with a little bit of foresight into what that's going to turn into. Usually when massive growth starts occurring, a lot of that needs to be rewritten under the hood to make sure that it plays nicely with new technologies and some of these new requirements. In something like this, where forgive me for copying the team so much, but where we're on the bleeding edge of
Yeah,
of
yeah, no, that's right.
technology, um, you know, uh, there's a lot of things that need to, or that come about in the future that you maybe can't see into, or can't predict when you're first doing things. So the team definitely didn't plan on making their own side chain when they started making the game. That's just one example.
Right.
They probably didn't plan on making their own, like, Ronin decks when they first started making the game. So all of this stuff plays into how much capacity the current system can
Yeah.
handle. And so yeah, we just need to play time, but or hold up, wait. But like I said earlier on, this has got to be number one priority for them right now. We've got so many people coming in. We need to set a good example when they land here, and having everything work smoothly is number one in user experience.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Okay, well, continuing on, what happens to SLP price when people stop breeding? Well, I don't know that I guess that's a big conditional, right? Are we going to have people stop breeding? But if breeding slows down some, and we have seen the total marketplace reduce, as I mentioned before, if breeding slows down some, then yeah, not as much SLP will be burnt. But I think that it was last week we talked about the burn rate. Man, the burn rate for SLP is way, way, way higher than the mint rate right now. So, there were a lot of people forecasting doom, and I don't know. I didn't have any concerns about doom. I think the team was right in changing the breeding fee that they did, but right now we're on a course where there's going to be, a potential shortfall in SLP at some point. I haven't looked at the total market. I haven't looked to see what's on Binance recently. When we first were headed over to Ronin and things were locked up, I remember seeing something, if I remember right, it was that 60% of the SLP was held on Binance, and that was around 450 million or something like that. So I don't know what the total numbers are. It'd be worth checking those out and just seeing kind of where we are in total growth. But when we have people saying, hey, I'm down to buy 2.5 million SLP. I just want to see maybe a little bit of a relax in the Binance price. I didn't check to see, but I got the impression that at least 2 million more SLP was purchased today alone from Binance from a single buyer. That's pretty incredible, man. So I don't know. I think that, I think I'm on record as saying something about believing that the SLP price should decline. Of course, that was before the breeding fee change. So I will ask for an out on that. But I don't know, man. I don't know. SLP now for a month has been in a very, very stable position. And someone on Discord said, rightfully, that if you were holding all SLP during this latest kind of crypto decline, what happened? You were in a way better position than anything else that you could have held, because I mean, other than a stable coin, I guess, right? So yeah, it's pretty incredible. SLP is the little engine that could, man. I love SLP. That's that smooth love that's coming to us.
Yeah, and I'll just throw in a few thoughts, because I think the assumption here is that at some point, the amount of players are gonna stop coming. The massive amount of players that we've got right now are gonna stop coming in, so quickly, and maybe slow to a trickle, and the breeding would stay you know, the same pace, and if the amount of new people come in, um, slow down, then breeding doesn't need to happen anymore. The team said multiple times, there's a couple things there. Is one, yes, that's a good assumption to make, that at some point we're going to run out of people on the planet who want to play the game. The issue with that argument is that there's a lot of things that can be changed to ensure that SLP price
Oh
is
yeah,
is stable or
reasonable.
goes up, or that it's maintained. There's also a lot of things that can be changed to ensure that people keep breeding. On the breeding front, we've discussed it earlier. Is if any changes to the meta happen, breeders have to catch up with that, because people want the best Axies to play the game. If Mio 3 comes out, or if new parts arrive, people need to breed to make those new parts, because we would assume that changes the meta in some way. If at some point when they release, level 2, level 3, level 4 parts, um, assuming that would change the meta as well. We also know that at some point they're going to release some sort of Axie sync, so something that gets rid of currently available Axies. So that changes the equation again. Now there's the whole issue of SLP, and the team has talked about having all sorts of levers to adjust,
Yep.
to play with that SLP price. They could decrease the amount that's given per match. They could, decrease the amount of energy you have. All sorts of things that we've kind of already seen them play with, that has made things, function properly, and get us to the price that we're at right now. Now, another thing that I want people to think about is SLP price right now is what is driving adoption of the game.
Yes. Yep.
SLP price isn't as high as it is, then less people would be coming in. It wouldn't be as attractive to people in the Philippines, or wherever. I mean, US alone, I mean, $8,700 a year is nothing to sneeze at. That's a new car for me. So even in the US, that's compelling. But it makes sense that the team would pull those levers to make SLP stay stable, or even go up, to entice more people to come in. How they do that, is anybody's guess, but we have a few clues. But yeah, I would not worry about that for the foreseeable future, and I'm talking a few years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, they've got stuff in place and have talked about that should alleviate any issues with people stop breeding.
Yeah, so I totally agree with everything you said. To be honest, I see everything uncoupling. I've mentioned this before. It's already starting to happen. Axis and SLP are both starting to uncouple from the main chain, which is awesome. And then once we have fiat options that pull us right off of Ronin, game over. Like, it doesn't even matter what happens with Ethereum or Bitcoin or any of those things. All that matters at that point is Axis, SLP, and the awesome tokens that will be coming our way with respect to materials and land play and crafting and all the cool stuff that's, boy, it's just knocking on the door. It's coming so very soon in the whole scheme of things. But again, like, I can understand a little bit of heartache about Ethereum right now, but once fiat just comes directly to Ronin, it really doesn't matter that much. Like, mostly it's possible, and I'm not saying that this will be the case, but it's absolutely possible. I mean, maybe it is going to be the case, but it's absolutely possible that people won't care that much about moving into Ethereum unless they choose to do other crypto stuff that requires Ethereum. I mean, why would you? If you can have your Axis and your SLP and whatever other Axie assets there are. So, for example, like, say you own an Origin Axie, right? And I'm sure at some point we're going to get a WOE token, but say that WOE token can just be transferred directly to pesos or USD or whatever. then all of a sudden you never even needed to touch Ethereum. And I think that that's an extremely important point. Like people, to some extent, are not thinking big enough. They're not thinking 95% domination of the NFT space, like Jiho said in the chat. That's where Axie Infinity is headed. That's where things are going. And it's not going to be reliant on Elon's tweets about Bitcoin or Dogecoin or anything like that. So,
Listen, man, Axie at this point is energy efficient.
yep.
I think Teslas could run on Axies at this point. Is that a good way to burn Axies? Should we just shove them through the Tesla energy generator?
I guess so. I don't know. Anyway, those are thoughts. Keep them in mind. See if they're useful for you. Hey, just wanted to tell everybody thanks for participating in Axie Night. So we had night plays before. Thank you so much. So cool. And then after, we're going to have Soma Pills. So really excited that we're able to do this Axie Chat night. Wanted to give a little teaser about the All Access Pass. And just if you're looking at the stream, you see a word there. Anyway, just wanted to give a little teeny tiny leak. So artists, had to shout out some artists. This is a 2 week in a row, and I try to avoid doing that, but I loved this one so much. This axolotl version of Axies. So I don't even know how anybody could vote nay. That is the coolest freaking thing in the world. Good job, I thought that was so fun. I mean, what did you think?
Good. Awesome. I sent that to you. It got me excited. I don't know if the team's going to take their art direction from that, but we do know that we're going to see evolutions at some point, and that's freaking awesome. If that's the middle ground or even the end evolution of some reptiles, they said that we could potentially be seeing dinosaurs or dragons. Like, dude, I'm hyped up. I'm
Dude.
hyped up by just community art, man. It gets me excited.
Me too. And I loved this from Esther. I thought that these were really cool pieces to kind of commemorate things. One that's coming, the first one is the decks. You see how the SLP and the Axis are kind of trading across that creature, the kind of Axie. I thought that was just a really cool. I'm not super knowledgeable when it comes to art styles, but I loved this art style. It's fun. I like it. It feels art deco-y. Or I'm not. I probably am saying it totally wrong. I'm not a super art critic or anything. But then the one commemorating YGG and their Class A investment. That's super cool. Esther, keep it up. It's so awesome. Love seeing different takes within the space. We don't want everything just looking the same. We got just great artists. Keep it up, everybody. All right, so projects, great stuff. The Axie Zombies one that's on this page, that's kind of art too. And I need to pull up the actual artist that prepared that for Axie Zombies. But I just loved that. You and I both did in our preparation stuff. It just looks so fun, so cool. Thought that was really awesome. Love seeing things in different languages. Love seeing things in different communities. So this tweet by Person talking about their stream. Really excited to see a Axie Korea stream happening. Wish I know that they're talking about great stuff. Wish I knew Korean. Have to see if there's some subtitles or something so I can listen. Way cool. And then Axe. We haven't shouted out Axe for a long time. Axe,
it's been a bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's been too long. Axe, great job. Love what you're doing. Love everything that you've been putting out there. Really cool to check this one out. Haven't had a chance yet, but love Z too. So that was awesome. Wow, something showed up on your screen there, man. Looks like
I got a
big
cat tail in my face.
Big bushy tail. Fun stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, it's an even week, so it's time to even up. This week, the community developer that I wanted to highlight was MaxBrand99. Max has put together some amazing public Axie charts that are extremely, extremely useful. I wanted to highlight the Axies being generated, the Axie numbers, just because we're headed toward 1 million. So really wanted to shout out Max. I'm going to give him a 5 axis tip in the Discord system. If you could give Max a tip, that would be awesome. If not, his Twitter is the one up there on the right, MaxBrand99. Give him a follow, show him some love. He's got other stuff happening that I'm just excited about, kind of behind the scenes, doing great work. Big things are coming from Max. And already this has been extremely useful. I know that his charts have been seen by big players already, that people are really excited about the metrics he's putting together, the quantitative analysis that he's doing with the Axie numbers, and I think that they're just going to be a big deal. So I wanted to highlight something that's happening in the now. We'll get an opportunity to go back to some of the earlier community developers, but Max, great job. Had to give you a big shout out.
Max, I'm going to take this opportunity to tell you, get a damn profile picture. I couldn't call you out in a crowd for anything. I need something to differentiate you. Anyways, moving on. Yeah.
Yeah, Matt, you got to pick an Axie or something, Max. You got to do something.
Do something, bro.
Yep, I like it. I like it. All right. So, hey, we're freaking happening. So cool. Even with the general decline in the crypto space, we cap more than 4.1 million in total volume for the Axie Infinity space. So cool. Just kind of like alpha recommendations. You know, when Ethereum's low, you ought to be paying attention to some of those scarce assets and see what you can do. And I'll leave it at that.
Hey, I got an announcement too, real quick, because I know we're wrapping it up. This slide always precedes the wrap up. Guys, I put together this week axieforum.com. I'm giving a giveaway for signups.
I'm sorry, Enjoi. Oh my gosh, I had
all right. You know, you're always undermining me. It's okay.
Gosh dang
it. But I'm giving away 150 SLP to 10 people who sign up and post. I've got a little whatever article in there. Guys, the reason I'm doing this is because Discord has so many people in it right now. It's moving so fast, and the conversations are turning into very short question answers. I love seeing more long form conversation, and axieforum.com is already kind of putting that stuff together. People are contributing and making content and telling stories and all sorts of awesome stuff. It's still a small community, but I think it's going to be a huge resource towards new people coming into the system. It's also Google recognizable, right? It's going to show up in the search results. So if people are looking for how to get started with Axie, Discord doesn't show up. All of that work that we put into Discord doesn't show up in there. So I'm hoping moving some of that conversation over here is going to make it easier for people to get started and foster a different kind of community as well. So again, if you got a second, axieforum.com, sign up, post, put you in the drawing. 10 people will win 150 SLP. I've got more contests planned to help build out content and to give away to people that are helping out build out content. So just a quick shout out to that. Thanks, guys.
All right, and I threw the link in the chat. I had total plans to have a great slide for that, man. I wanted you to hit that hard. I love that idea. I absolutely love the Axie Forum. And that is going to be an awesome space to share good information that is going to be persistent. That's one of the things, like you said, we do this, but man, you have to listen to how many of these now? 44. To really get through it all. So the forum's going to be just an amazing place. Really excited about that. Nice job, man. Way to go.
Yeah, forgive the graphic design. I am not a designer. I'll fix it over time. Anyways.
But you said it's pretty sweet on mobile, and I haven't had a chance to pull it up on my mobile, only on PC, so I'm excited to see.
I mean, the best I'll give it is it works good. It doesn't look good. It'll get there, but it works good.
Awesome. All right. Hey, thanks, man. And I apologize. I had complete plans to have a beautiful slide for you on that one.
No worries.
All right. Hey, just a reminder. I didn't update the number on here. We've sold quite a few Founders Passes. I think they're getting more and more rare. But if you're interested in the space, interested in some exclusive conversations and chat, the Founders Pass is a great way to go. So think about that. Hey, what a great time.
29 left as of now.
29. Wow. Awesome. Yeah, so hey, everybody, thanks so much for hanging out with us on Axie Chat today. Just been great stuff happening in the space. You know, sometimes we get to the end of these, and all I'm thinking about is the next one, and it's the same thing today. Really, really excited to see what happens over the course of this next week. I had hoped that we'd hit 1,000,000 Axies, but maybe people are paying attention to the stream and not breeding so much, and that's okay too, because we love it. We love it. So we'll be paying really close attention to an announcement from Jiho from the team when we hit that 1,000,000th Axie bred. And guys, just keep on breeding those Axies. Axie hard. We need plenty of Axies out there. We are not overinflated, and this is a situation where we want to see more and more adoption. So keep it up, right, man?
Yeah, man. You had a hashtag up on the last slide. I think it should be the juice is worth the squeeze, June. You know, we've made a whole lot of progress in just the last month or two. Just everything's blowing up, everything's crazy. You know, I at some point I want to get back to the gameplay. I want the growth to be, you know, just not even a priority anymore, right. Not even exciting. But yeah, man, at this point in time, it's just it's so fast, it's so incredible, and there's so much news kind of just about our growing community, so it's hard to ignore.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, everybody, thanks again. We're going to scoot off. We'll be raiding over to Soma Pills. We'll get that going right away. Again, just thanks so much, Axie family. We're here. We're going to keep this going. We're excited. We might not have Enjoi next week, but we're going to have Axie Chat next week. Hopefully, we'll hear from Enjoi just as soon as possible. And congratulations, man. I'm so excited for you and your family. Yeah, and everybody, hey, have a wonderful day or night or wherever you are. Have a wonderful time in Lunasia. So glad you're here. Axie hard.
Axie hard, guys. Take care.